Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-Mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-Mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, first day of April, 2021. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, just glad to have you right here, right now. If you can't see the screens I have up, go to our homepage at cfrn.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds, and that will give you one-click access to the show each and every day. It also gives you access to the chat box so that you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. On the days you're out of your office, away from your desktop, not to worry, point any internet-connected browser to cfrn.net/live. There you'll find a live, real-time simulcast of the show as it unfolds. You just won't have access to the chat box. During this broadcast, we also stream live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CFRN. Not only do we stream live during the broadcast, but we archive each and every daily show. Currently on our YouTube channel, you'll find over 1,600 archived daily shows. If you happen to be listening to this broadcast after the fact as a podcast on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever pods are cast, and you want to be able to actually see the charts that we're talking about, hit pause on your podcast player and just point your browser over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CFRN. So let's open with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you today for your blessings, for your mercy, for your grace. We open our hearts, our minds, and our souls to worship you. Thank you that today we dwell in your kingdom and live in your presence. Thank you that as we gather together, we join with all believers across the world to glorify your name and together leave this world a little better place than we found it. Come be with us, inspire us, and lead us now in our time together. We ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, amen. Happy Thursday. I guess if tomorrow's Good Friday, I guess today's Good Thursday. All right. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. These are the cash markets, the indices, as they're called. Currently, the Dow up 147 points. NASDAQ up 199 points. S&P 500 up 35, and the Russell 2000 up 20. The Dow's trying to break a two-day losing streak. The NASDAQ is up 1.5%. S&P 500 is up just shy of 1%. And the Russell 2000 also just shy, being up 1% on the session. In the commodity basket, crude oil up 65 cents, trading 59.81 last. That's a gain of a little over 1%. Gold up $14.10, trading $17.29.70 last. Silver up 30 cents, trading $24.84 last. And for silver, that's a gain of 1.25%. A $1 move in the price of silver. If you're holding a large futures contract in silver, a $1 move is worth $5,000. It's volatile. Margins are high. Be careful out there. In the Asian markets at the close, Nikkei posted a gain of 210 points. Shanghai gained 24. Hang Seng rose 560. Now for the Hang Seng, that's a gain of almost 2%. In the European markets at the close, FTSE finished the session up 23 points. The DAX gained 98 points. The CAC rose 5 points. That gives us a green day in Asia, a green day in the UK, and so far, it is a big green radio good Thursday here in the US of A. So with that, we could go to Michael if he's ready and get a recap of what happened this morning in the live training room. And if you're not quite ready yet, Michael, we'll go look at the daily chart. S&P 500 E-mini futures. Now, yesterday, we had a new all-time historic intraday high and a new all-time historic closing high. And for all the world, it looked like we had a little double top going here. Like the bears might finally have their chance to throw their party. Look at this thing. This is why we embrace all possibilities. We don't let our thinking, our sentiment, our belief about what should be or shouldn't be get in the way of trading. I mean, we're going to have our opinions. That's part of the human condition. Now, because we're at all-time historic highs here and pushing, okay, we look left, there's nothing there. We've never been here before. Overhead, we've got the 50% Fibonacci price extension. That's way up at 40.74. Our highest weekly trading zone this week, for different reasons, is 40.85. Now, my understanding is that Globex will not open tonight. I had thought it would, and that the markets would trade to about midday tomorrow, Globex markets, but someone posted in yesterday that there would be no Globex tonight. Turns out, for some reason, there is, and you can expect the concierge trade alerts and logic alerts, as we do, around the clock. Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. Obviously, if there's no Globex session, there'll be no alerts tonight or tomorrow. We know for a fact that U.S. markets are closed tomorrow. And according to what was posted yesterday, Globex not going to happen tonight. Okay, so we've got to do some housekeeping. This is only temporary because we're still cruising. Got to take this, move that up to the new current all-time historic high. And we got to take this, because this is officially our last leg up. This was the last leg up, but yesterday, once we took out that swing high, that made this the current dominant last leg up. And so I posted that in the discussion group, posted a couple charts so that everybody would be aware. Do the same on your own charts. So we got to bump this one up too. Okay. So from this low to this high, 24% Fibonacci price retracement be right here, right along these tops, roughly 39.68. Okay. So of course we've got support at low of session, we've got support at the step line, we've got support at blue and climbing. Then we get down to the 38% fib retracement, and the 50% fib retracement of just the last leg up is lined right up with the daily BBC. And I did not refresh this chart. Let's do it just to be sure. Yep. 24, 38, 50 to 62. Now, the 24% fib of the entire move up, which is from the end of October, beginning of November, to this new all-time historic high here, the 24% fib retracement of the entire move up down here at 38.20. The low, this low. Try and line that up a little better. Fibs are an area, so don't drive yourself nuts trying to get it exactly perfect because it's an area. Again, resistance overhead, high of session, all the way up to 40.74. Next likely place for the, although did a pretty good job of ripping right through this 38. Which has me thinking, it's got me thinking, yep, I think it's time. I really do. I'm going to highlight this. And I'm going to grab this. I'm going to drag that right there. Then I'm going to take this, drag that right there, because we do now have a new last leg up. So from the low put in October, November, end of October, 1st of November, from that low, this high, this retracement low, that puts our 24% Fibonacci price extension here, which makes more sense, 40.21. And 41.32. And in the middle, we've got our highest weekly zone, 40.85/86. All right, is that you, Mike?
That is me.
Okay, Michael is ready, so we're going to kick it over to him, and he'll give you a recap of everything that happened this morning in the live training room. We'll be back. We'll go over the concierge alerts, the logic alerts, and today's Thursday, good Thursday. But as far as I know, Dr. Tom will be joining us at the top of the hour. So, Michael, it's all yours.
Okay, here we go. Good afternoon.
I don't see your charts yet.
Oh, you don't see my charts?
Not
Oh,
yet.
I see yours. I see yours. Okay, well, I can still say good afternoon.
There you go.
Here we go.
Now we're cooking.
There we go. All right,
Okay,
there we go.
all yours.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, the first day of April, 2021. Let's see. If you've not taken a free trial with us and you want to, go to the homepage at cfrn.net, scroll down to where it says free 5-day trial, no credit card required. Click on that, and you'll be brought to this page, eminitrainingschool.com. On this page, all that we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. You can tell us your biggest trading challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. And we really do that. Once you do that and you hit the send button, you'll be sent the confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link. Okay. If you don't click that link, we don't know that you took the free trial. So you got to make sure you click on that link. All right. Now the spreadsheet. We are in a new month now on the spreadsheet. So there's not a lot of information to display. Last month was our best month ever in the room. $21,217 on the month last month. Now last month started off with, let's go back to the very first day, was $1,587. Okay, today a little quieter, about $780 this morning. But as I said, today is the first day of April 2021. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you can read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today made 50 ticks in crude and 28 in gold. Didn't trade the ES at all today, which is odd. Today it took 9 minutes and 2 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract, in which could total of 19 trades. So as I said, 780. We've gone 61 out of 62 days now, getting our goal. And on the year now, we're at $53,482. That's over 62 trading days, averaging $862 per contract per 2-hour trading day. Now, what do we average at the end of last month? 922 at the end of last month. And up until today, right, what did we get today? 7 something. 780. Okay, yeah. So we're a little low. We're a little lower than the daily average on the year right now. Okay, so let's get into what we did and didn't do. Now I'm going to start out with the ES because we didn't take any trades on the ES because a lot of it was just like this. You see this? You just can't trade that. So you had a whip, consolidation, then a whip. Had a couple of trades in here. I was drawing out the areas that I thought it was going to go to, pullback areas and target areas, and it did eventually get to them, but it took forever. And you see this morning, it was just all this. So the good news is when there's no trades, there's no trades. So you don't stop out on anything. All right. That was the ES this morning. Now I'll go to gold. Let me do this. Okay, so here we go with gold. Now our first trade on gold was right in here. We ended up with a break even on that. Yeah, there's something missing. I didn't put this one in, but our second trade on gold was right here. We missed that one. Our third trade on gold. Let me just see if I can remember this. I think we picked up 4 ticks on that. This one here we picked up 13 though to put us at plus 16. We had a break even there, a break even there, 2 ticks there to put us at plus 18. A break even there, 10 ticks there to put us at plus 28. And I think we actually picked up 4 ticks on this. But we ended with plus 28 on the gold. Then in the last half hour, gold was a mess too. You see this right in here? It was just, there was no point in trading it. During the break, there was a short here, a short there, a short there, and a short there. And one last one right there. So there were a lot of shorting opportunities during the break, but I really didn't give out any opportunities. Like normally at the end of the morning session, I'll say, okay, well, during the break, it's probably going to go here. It's probably going to go there. But I mean, during the break, right before the break, it was hard to do that because the markets were just complicated. I'll just call it that. Okay. So this is crude. Now, we didn't have crude inventories today, but we did have natural gas inventories, and natural gas had an effect on crude today, which is not the norm. So in case you were wondering. All right, so right here was our first trade on crude. We got a break even on that. This one here, we picked up 10 ticks. That's where we got the goal for the day. We missed that trade. We got a break even there. Missed that trade, which would have been profitable. Then we stopped out. That brought us down to hang on. So we had a break even. Then we got the goal for the day. And somewhere, oh, you know what? I think I see what happened here. Okay. I see what happened. Anyway, we stopped out here and that brought us down to 13 ticks. We were up at 23 and it brought us down to 13. Then we had a break even. Then we had a couple of ticks there. And we had a break even and another break even. And we had a 10 tick. So from 33 to 43. And then 43 to 45 and then 45 to 50. Doesn't look like I counted this one, which was a 20 tick trade if I remember right. And I didn't count this one, which was a 10 tick trade. And what, did I just stop counting on crude? Looks like I did. Anyway, there was a trade here. I remember this one being a 10 tick trade because I only got 10 out of it. I was saying it was going to get down here and put a new low in the day. And then I was trying to get out of the trade and it came back up. I dropped my stop at plus 10. So I got 10 on that one. And I remember I got 20 on this because it happened really fast. And I was talking, and then I said, there's a short right here on crude, and I jumped on it, and then I took some profit. And this one looks like I got a little profit on. I think I got 5 ticks here, and I did record that. But I said that put us at 50, but we're actually at like 75 at that point. And there was a couple of ticks there that I didn't take credit for, and a break even there. So I'm just going to go with the numbers that we have down. But let's just look at what else was going on in here during the break. I was just looking at the slingshot here, and you see how the cycle's going back and forth, just oscillating right in the middle of everything. That's not going to give you too many trade setups, sadly. You know, there's a short right here that you could have taken. A short right here that you could have taken. Now, we were talking about YBR trades this morning a little bit, because there were some nice YBR trades this morning, and here's one right here. This was also a bounce off the BBC that you could have taken. This is leading up to the break. Okay, so then we get into the break. Right in here was a long, and let's see, a bounce off the BBC right there for another long during the break. Then over here, there was a long right here with a follow-up right there, and even another one right there. So the crude gave up quite a bit today during the break. It actually gave up quite a bit all day. That's why we were higher on crude than anything else. I only have 50 down on crude, but there were clearly a few trades that I took that I missed. But I'm okay with that. We'll just go with what I actually remember. And okay. So if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the first day of April 2021. Today we made 50 ticks on crude and 28 ticks on gold, put us at plus 780 on the morning session. Today we had 9 minutes and 2 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, $100 a contract, and we took a total of 19 trades. Now we really took about 24 trades, and we're up probably $250, $300 more. But on a month now, we're up $780. It's over 1 day, and on the year, we've made the goal 61 out of 62 days, and that puts us at $53,482 per contract per 2-hour trading day, averaging $862 per contract per 2-hour trading day. If you've not taken the free trial and you want to, go to the homepage at cfrn.net. And right here it says free 5-day trial, no credit card required. Click on that. You'll be brought to eminitrainingschool.com. On this page, all we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. You can tell us the biggest trading challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. Hit the send button and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link, okay? If you don't click the link, we don't know that you took the free trial, so you got to make sure you click on that. All right? All right. And that is it. With that, we can pass it back out to Studio A in fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
I am. Recap of the recap.
Today, it took 9 minutes and 2 trades to get to $100 per contract.
Another good job.
Thank you.
Consistency. Day after day after day after day. Okie
That's
doke.
it. Same
Logic
thing.
247. This is our 24/7 around the clock E-mini alert service. Obviously, nothing on Friday night, Saturday, Sunday during the daytime, but Sunday night, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's when the Globex markets open. Globex opens, then Asia opens, and then London opens, then Wall Street opens. And futures track the buying and selling of stocks around the clock. And while we call it Logic 247, our premier E-mini alert service, we do alerts on things other than the E-minis. We also do alerts on crude, gold, silver, occasionally some ag products, occasionally some currencies. But most of our traders tend to stick with the indices, which is the S&P, the Dow, the Russell, the NQ, crude, gold, and you got a few silver bugs. Now, these alerts come out around the clock as opportunity presents itself based on current price action. What's happening in the market right now. Okay. However, I build in time so that when you hear the alarm sound on your phone, tablet, PC, or Mac, you got plenty of time to get to the chart, read the alert, study your chart, see the window of opportunity, and trade it in your simulator if you're new, or in your live account, if you've already passed the test to go live, if you're qualified to trade live. But the idea here is not to just give you actionable alerts that you can trade and make money, which, it's your passport. You'll do with it as you please. The purpose of what we do is not to just give you tradable alerts, but to teach you how to find these exact same windows of opportunity yourself. In the live training room every day for 2 hours, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Michael is trading and teaching, answering questions. And it is an interactive environment. I can assure you that you'll never, ever learn how to trade by just watching somebody else trade. You can watch videos till the cows come home. You can even watch a trader trade live till the cows come home. You will not learn how to trade that way. Just like you can't learn how to swim watching videos of Mark Spitz swimming. You got to get in the pool, okay? Now, when you're trying to teach somebody how to swim, there's floaties. So that a person can learn to do the strokes and the kicks without drowning. And so think of the simulator as the same. You're in the pool. It's real. Just the money's not real. So that, if you swallow a little bit of water, it's not going to kill you. It's just not real water. Okay, you get the analogy, I think. Anyway, point being, don't just sit there and watch Michael without interacting. Ask questions. Get to the bottom of this. It's simple. It's basic. But we have people who've been with us a day, a week, a month, a year, years. And so everybody's at a little different spot on their journey up Trader Mountain. So wherever you are on your journey, it is your job to, in the morning during class, ask questions and trade along with Michael. Now, you're not going to make a living trading along with Michael because it's a fast time frame. We use a fast time frame so we can show you lots of opportunities throughout the 2-hour class. But you'll get the swing of things, okay? He's going along at a certain price, and you're learning the mechanics of how to click the mouse. Left button, right button, buy, sell, all of that stuff. So between trading with Michael in the morning and trading the alerts around the clock as opportunity presents itself, those alerts give you an opportunity to practice what Michael has taught you in the room. Okay? The alert shows you where there's opportunity. Remember, the alerts, the logic alerts are based on opportunity as it presents itself. And when opportunity presents, it comes out as an alert. Now you have a chance to go to work, practice everything you've learned in the live training room. Once you put together 10 consecutive days in a row where you reach your goal, 10 trades or less, our blueprint or manual will give you the green light to go live with one contract. Now your goal is to increase your account balance by $2,000. Once you do that, the blueprint gives you the green light to add a second contract. Big difference between the second contract and the first contract. The second contract is paid for, underwritten with profit you earned in the market. Blueprint will always notify you when it's time to add the next contract. Number 3, number 4, number 5, number 10. You only add one at a time, and you only add with profit you earned in the market. So far this week, we've issued a total of 53 alerts. 15 of them never triggered. Still waiting on the outcome of 6. We've had 32 actionable alerts. 16% stopped out based on not risking more than $300 per contract, per trade, less when possible, using market structure and a simple 3-step method we teach all of our traders. In the morning in the room, Michael teaches you the importance of using a hard stop on every trade. Teach you the methodology, the strategy, the setup. We keep the stop side of it simple. It's just 8-tick hard stop across the board on everything. Whatever market, just 8-tick hard stop. As you start trading the alerts and looking at the larger time frame, the alerts are all based off a 30-minute chart. I will teach you market structure. I will teach you how to query the chart and let the chart tell you where the stop loss needs to be if you want to risk $300 or less based on whatever your entry price is. Each alert, we now have over 7,000 alerts in the alert channel. They're all trend trades as defined by a 30-minute chart and our indicators. If I had included counter trend trades, I guess we'd have 14,000. Because what does price do? It does a leg and then a retracement, and then a leg and then a retracement. My experience over the years has shown me that trend trades have a higher degree of probability than counter trend trades. Nothing wrong with counter trend trades. Lots of people specialize in those. Okay? But because you're new, because you're learning, because we're teaching, we want to give you the best of the best, the creme de la creme to work with via the alerts. So it's always a trend trade as defined by our indicators on a 30-minute chart. And so this is it for the week, plus whatever else might come out this afternoon. Now, on an average week, 20% gets stopped out. So this week, a little better than average. And those alerts look like this. See, there was a long on silver, buy 2486, initial target 2488. On this one, because I didn't do weekly zones for silver this week. The resistance is at 25 bucks. Here's gold. Here's the NQ, the Russell. These are all the ones we're still waiting on. I just published those this morning. So you've had plenty of time, to get to your chart, study the alert, etc. It's part of the learning process. And then, again, B is buy, T is initial target. Second target on a long will be called potential resistance. Sometimes there's 2, 3, 4, 5 targets. The final trade to target on a long is the weekly trading zone overhead. On a short, it's the weekly trading zone below. This was a long on the S&P, long on silver, long on gold, and we've rolled to the M contract in gold. Still waiting. This is a long on the S&P, a stop out on the Dow, long on the Russell, long on the NQ, long on gold, long on silver. Now we're back to Wednesday the 30th, no, Tuesday. Yeah, because Sunday was the 28th. When you see the Z's, that just means no trigger. All 7,000, what is the total? 7,045 alerts. When you take our trial, you have access to all of those. You can go and look at our sample size, over 7,000 individual trades, and you can see exactly what's happened over the last 139 weeks. We have no secrets. We're very transparent. We do everything right in front of you. Michael takes off trades in the morning in the room, right in front of you. The alerts come out before they trigger, not after. This isn't one of those woulda, coulda, shoulda kind of things. Here's a short on the NQ. Here's your initial target, second target, third target, fourth target, fifth target, final trade to target. Short on the Dow, long on the Russell, short on the Dow, stop out on the NQ, no trigger, long on the S&P, there's a long on crude, no trigger on the Dow. This is a short, S is sell, initial target, final trade to target. No trigger, no trigger. Long on the S&P, long on the Dow, short on the NQ, long on crude oil, stop out on gold. This was a short on crude, no trigger on the NQ, short on the Russell, no trigger. I had a lot of no triggers this week. There's gold, short on the NQ, stopped out, long on the NQ, no trigger, stop out on the Dow, S&P, silver, crude. This Sunday night, we had a ton of no triggers. That's the truth about trading. Last week, week 138, we issued a total of 71 alerts. 16 never triggered. It gave us 55 actionable alerts, which 16% were stopped out. Again, 20% is the average. Market's been kind the last couple of weeks. Now, there's another type of alert that we provide our members called the concierge trade alerts. These are different. These are based on historic price action. The logic alerts are based on current price action. These are based on historic price action. These don't come out around the clock. These come out shortly after the Globex open. Last night it was 10 minutes after the open. There's two numbers for each market. So as soon as this static report is published, you should go to your charts, put your lines in the sand. For the S&P, you want to put a line at 39.89, put a line at 39.62. But once this is posted, price starts trending towards 39.89. That's bullish. So logic will be looking for opportunities to buy the market. If price starts drifting down to 39.62, that's bearish. Logic will be looking for opportunities to short the market. Once price is above 39.89, we will only look for longs. And once price is below 39.62, we will only look for shorts, using the methodology and the strategy that Michael teaches you every morning in the live training room. Okay. So on the daily chart, we've adjusted our fibs because we have a new all-time historic high. Like we're going to bump it up another tick or two. Yep. And this one can be bumped up a tick or two. Yep. So there we go. So from on this last, we have a new last leg up. As of yesterday, when we put in this new high, this became the last leg up. The 24% Fibonacci retracement, just the last leg up, that would come right across. You had a close there, a close, so no, you had a high there, a close there, a close there, a high there, and a close there. And all of those happen to line up at the 24% fib retracement. So we're talking resistance, 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 resistance. And we broke through. When this move runs out of steam, whether it's at the 24% fib extension, or wherever it runs out of steam, the retracement to the 24% fib of the last leg up should give us a really nice bounce. Number one, because it's the fib. Number two, resistance, 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 resistance becomes support. That happens over and over, again and again. Now, we start with a daily chart so we can get a high altitude look at where we're most likely to encounter support and resistance, because that's how price flows, from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, back to support, over and over, again and again, every market, every time frame. Price flows on a monthly chart the same way it flows on a 1 minute chart, from support to resistance and back again. Never-ending cycle. Once you're able to look at a chart and identify where we are in that cycle, then all you have to do is step in 2, 3, 4. And you got your goal for the day and you're out. and you're gone, and you're fishing, or you're building Habitat for Humanity houses, or you're feeding the hungry, whatever God created you to do. Identify if price travels, same on a 1 minute as a monthly, and I assure you it does, from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over again and again. If you're able to look at a chart and determine where we're at in that cycle, then you just need to be able to step in 2, 3, 4, and you got your goal for the day. Trading's not easy. If it were, everybody would do it. But it can be simple. The thing that prevents it from being simple, I believe, the core, is the nonsense, all the nonsense these vendors create, all these indicators and oscillators and all algorithms, all this stuff that man creates to solve problems that only exist in the mind of that creator. But if he can convince you with his sales pitch and his clever ad copy that there's all these other factors out there, and he's got a magic wand that can measure them and quantify them, you're buying stuff to solve problems that don't even exist. But it sure looks shiny. And there's a bit of magic in that. And deep inside, we all love a good magic show, don't we? Until we sit just far enough to the left in the auditorium this time, and we actually see how he does the magic trick. And then suddenly, we feel dirty and we just want to go home and shower. Sad state of affairs. Val just sent me something. Huh. Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, that's Phoenix is in Maricopa County. Maricopa County Board of Supervisors meeting at 10 a.m. will be closed to the public. Some supervisors will be tuning in via Zoom. Leave comments. Here's Patrick Burns' suggested message. Okay, I'm guessing this is probably the important part of this. Maricopa, oh yes, thank you, Val, has just crapped their pants. Patrick, he has a way with words. This guy, he's a friend of CFRN, one of the first big name interviews I did way back in the day, 2005, 2006, and the founder and CEO. Well, he stepped down now, but he is the founder and was the CEO of Overstock.com. It's the stock Wall Street loves to hate. Long story. Maricopa County Board just crapped their pants and called an emergency meeting regarding the Arizona Senate deciding on a firm yesterday to go forward with the audit of the election. They crapped their pants because Maricopa County has been fighting any real attempts to audit the election. They fight back against the Senate subpoena. The Senate went to a judge and got an order, and they thought back against that. The Senate had to go and produce a stronger subpoena. So the Board of Supervisors has been fighting this scrutiny tooth and nail. In the emergency meeting today, they're going to try to find some other way to slow it down, deflect, or block it. Because their emergency meeting today may be open to the public on Zoom, I encourage all citizens. Wow, this is interesting. If you, dear reader, know anyone in Maricopa County, you all do, please contact them in the next 60 minutes and share this information. We want them to come in on the Zoom call and let their elected officials know that citizens want this done and will tolerate no more delaying tactics. That Patrick, he got more money than he ever, well, who am I to say? Patrick has plenty of money. He's not doing this for financial gain. Notoriety, publicity, I don't know. He's a good guy, though. He really is. I know sometimes his writing, he can, but it was interesting getting to know him. I wish him well in all his endeavors. Okay, here is the S&P 500 E-mini futures. sitting right at 4,000. Now, where's the cash index? That's a great question. You say that's a good one. Where is it? Let's look. SPX. Okay. Now, this is the actual index, the S&P 500 cash index. Cannot buy or sell this. Man had to create derivatives so they could trade this. I know I've explained this to you before. Let me just run over it again real quick. If you were to take the current price this second of every company in the S&P 500, price of their stock, added them all up and divided by 500, you would get that price right there. But you can't buy or sell this. So man created derivatives, options, futures. That's what we trade. Okay, so we just saw that futures are just now touching 4,000. But the actual index has broken 4,000. Okay. So that term futures, people kind of think stocks are following the futures. Well, this is a good example to show you that no, because the futures are at 4,000 and we're printing green and we're at 412. We've already broken 4,000 on the cash index. This price is determined by the buying and selling of stocks. The futures simply track that buying and selling, and not to the penny and not to the tick. There's about 12 points difference here. So, okay. All right, let's go to the 30-minute chart of the S&P 500 Emini. CTA number last night, the one I just had up on the screen for you. If you want to grab a screenshot, you can. Here it is. 5, 4, 3, 2. Got it? So the CTA last night for the S&P was to be long 39.89. Again, once you understand the methodology and the strategy, you don't have to wait for price to get to 39.89. Chances are there's going to be an alert in the logic channel based on current price action. Remember, these are based on historic. 539.89. Okay. So once price, now let's take a look at what happened. This was the open, the Globex open last night, right here, this candle. Okay. And so price meandered for a bit, and then it took out this little trend line. All I did was I connected those two tops. We got through it. Oh, and in the discussion group, I said, watch for a potential trader Vic. That's where price comes back to touch the top of a trend line once it breaks out. Anyway, price rallied right up to the weekly zone. The yellow lines are previous week's weekly zones. This is current 39.83/84. Now, so yesterday when price got to the zone, when price, anytime price rallies up to a zone, we expect it to be good resistance until proven otherwise. And it was. Resistance will always send price looking for support. When price drops to the BBC, we expect it to be good support. And it was. For many hours. Then, once we got above this trend line, once we got above these highs right here, we had a logic alert. Trying to remember the price. I think we talked about it on the show yesterday even. It was 39.75. Oh, it was 39.77, but I told you guys in the discussion group you could go ahead and enter 75, I believe it was. So we make that same trip back up to the weekly zone, and again we find resistance. So we get a retracement. This time we don't make it all the way back to the BBC. See, this time we did. This time we didn't. Trading this back to the BBC, that would be a counter trend trade. Okay? If price is above the BBC, that's uptrend. Price is below the BBC, downtrend, right? And see how we didn't make it all the way back to the BBC? Which, my whole point earlier was that nothing wrong with counter trend trades. They just don't have the same high probability, low risk characteristics as a trend trade, in my opinion. Okay, so anyway, we get almost to the BBC, buyers step in, take us back up to the zone. So this is our third trip. Once, twice. So we consolidate for an hour, 2 candles, and we take off. And so you could, and by you I mean someone who's learned our methodology and strategy, you know, once this high and these two, see these two highs right here, once those are taken out, you might have gotten long 39.87. Okay, that would, you would already have 2 points by the time you get to the trigger at 39.89. But from 39.89 up to, let's just call it 4,000. That's 11 points at $50 a point. It's $550 per contract traded. Now, this first trigger ran up to 91.5. So that's 2.5 points. So we had a 2.5 point trade. Market made 2.5 points available. Then price got back below the trigger. And then it made the 11 point run. $550 per contract traded. The short side, 39.62, obviously that never got triggered. Okay. Next is the Dow. Okay. Look at this side. You see this? This is no bueno. This is not good trading. Just saying. Our indicators not only help you find high probability, low risk trade setups, they can also help you stay out of the mess. Okay, so the long side for the Dow was 32,965. 32,965. All right, 32,965. Is that right? 965, and we made it up to 86. So 20 points, $5 a point, $100 per contract traded. And then from 965 up to 33, call it 60 points, $5 a point, $300 per contract traded. And that final trade to target, of course, is the weekly trading zone overhead. Next is the Russell. CTA number last night for the Russell was to be long 2230. Right here. Okay, from 2230 to 2236, that's $300 per contract traded. Back to the trigger, up to the zone. So from 30 to the zone at 40, that's 10 points, $50 a point, $500 per contract traded. So first 300, then 500, then another 500 plus, because this one traded all the way up to 48. And so that would be 18. That's almost $1,000 per contract move. You've earned the right to trade 2 contracts, it's $2,000. 3 contracts, $3,000. 10 contracts, $10,000. That's just a function of math. It has nothing to do with our methodology or strategy. NQ. Last night, CTA number for the NQ was to be long 13,170. That happened right here. The 170. Okay, the high of this candle, 76.75. So it was like $120 per contract, and then it dipped back below the trigger. Triggered second time. And so this time it goes from 170 to 270, 320. Is that 150 points off the top of my head? 150 points, $20 a point. From here to here, the market made $3,000 per contract available. If you've earned the right to trade 2 contracts, then it's $6,000. If you've earned the right to trade 10 contracts, it's $30,000. Annual average income in Uganda, Kenya, $1,800. 2-year salary with 1 contract. It's awesome, right? Boy, if it were easy, everybody would do it, right? There's no easy button in trading. People try to tell you there is, but, well, you already know how that worked out. I'm just going to tell you the truth. It's not easy. But it can be simple. And the reason people have trouble letting it be simple because of the way our mind works, the human condition. We ask questions that aren't important. We fail to ask the questions that are important. You'll never get the right answer by asking the wrong question. I could go on. But if you can embrace that price flows on a monthly the same as it does on a 1 minute, and everything in between, and that price flows from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, never-ending cycle. If you can embrace that, then what's happening here? We had a leg, retracement, and when we took out that high, step 2, 3, 4. You got your goal for the day. You're done. You're fishing. Building that Habitat for Humanity home. Not going to get rich overnight. In fact, we don't even want you to trade real money until you qualify, until you can put together 10 consecutive days in a row where you reach your goal in 10 trades or less. Stay away from the live account. Get it right. Follow the rules. Many have come before you. Some refused to follow the rules and failed. Some chose to follow the rules and have done quite well. And you can talk to our traders anytime. Just ask Valerie for admission to the discussion group. That simple. Not easy. Okay, crude oil. What happened? Crude's all over the place, eh? All right, the long side for crude was 60.60 last night. Now, CTAs will do one of 2 things. They'll act like an iron curtain. Although on this one, we did reach up like 15 ticks, $150. For the most part, this line in the sand turned price away, turn price away, turn price away, turn price away. CTAs will act as an iron curtain like this, or it'll swing wide the gate, continued advance, or continued decline if it's on the other side. The short side on crude last night was 58.75, and that never got triggered yet. We've been very volatile of late. Gold, last night's CTA number for gold was to be long, 1718. which we find out here. Now, 1728, that's a this week zone. This should say 23. I'm going to, these are all previous weekly zones. The yellow ones. Okay, 1709, that's this week. 23 is this week. 28, 29, where we currently are, that's this week. Okay. And so last night's CTA again was 1718, right here. So the first trigger took us up $300 per contract. We pull back to the BBC where we expect to find good support. The pullback holds more often than it doesn't. Off we go again. This time we go from 1718 the high of this candle. Yeah, almost 1720. So almost $200 per contract traded, 190 bucks. And it gets back below the trigger, does it a third time. This time we go from 1718. We'll call it 1728. It's $1,000 per contract traded. 10 points at $100 a point. $1,000 per contract traded. If you've earned the right to trade 2 contracts, or 3 or 4 or 5, well, you can do the math. Last on the list, silver, 2463. Two pennies is $100. We went from 2463. 63, let's call it, what's the high? 88. 88 minus 63 is 15. $750 per contract trade. No, I don't think that's right. Why doesn't that feel right? Alexa, 2488 minus 2463. 25. Okay, there we go. So it'd be $1,250 per contract traded. That sounds like it. Actually, we had 2 triggers. First trigger took us to here. Back below the trigger. Important prices, important areas. Almost always tested. Okay.
If it wasn't for Alexa, you wouldn't be able to trade, right?
Yep, that's right. You got me. You got me. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing fine, brother. How you doing?
Good, man. Good, good, good. What would you like to talk about today?
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but...
Oh, did you Google the NFTs, the non-fungible tokens?
Not yet. I've got a note to that, but my daughter cleared off my desk, and I got to dig through all my notes to find that again. Okay. Let me write it down on it. I've got some of these little yellow stickies.
Yeah, right.
They've actually got a program now. You can put it in your computer.
Yeah, I have the digital sticky notes right here.
That's handy because you can hide them when you want to, but
yeah,
you
and then
can
just
find
drag
them
them up and put them anywhere I want.
Yep.
We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking that created them.
Yeah. I saw another great one the other day. A guy's signature on his email is a lawyer, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if your opinion comes from your favorite commentator, then you don't have an opinion. I thought, that's very good. Because people get hooked up with one particular person that they think is a guru or whatever about politics or anything. And so they just parrot what they say. They don't do any critical thinking. You know, so I thought that was an interesting quote.
Yeah. Are you going to use the charts today?
Not today, not
Okay.
today. I've got everything written down, but didn't have time to build a PowerPoint, which I like to do. But I want to talk about the fact that there's a certain element in our country, shall we say, that really hates America, that wants to tear it down.
Yep.
And it's for two purposes. They want to have complete control over the citizenry. So that's why these so-called healthcare acts, which really have nothing to do with healthcare, it's all about insurance. Various different tariffs they do, taxes they do to make you do what they want. You know, there was raising taxes on gasoline cars, for instance, and subsidizing the electric cars, or putting millions of people out of work that are in the energy sector, when we've finally, for the first time in decades, become energy independent of the people who hate us, which are the Arabs and Muslims over in the Middle East, in favor of solar panels. And we talk about all the millions of green jobs making solar panels, but 90% of them are made in China. So there are a lot of new jobs, but they're all going to China. We're spending the money, they're getting the benefit from it. So anyway, I just wrote an article that said they want to take our God, our guns, and our gold, you know. And my tagline was "Good luck with that," you know, because it's not going to happen. But do you remember back in 2008 when Obama was talking about?
But if they can't get our guns, then they take our bullets.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I don't know if you've tried to buy ammunition of late, but it can be often hard to come by.
Yes, I'm like everybody else. People say to me, "Well, I wish I bought a lot of gold several years ago." Well, I did that, but I'm saying I wish I'd bought a lot of lead a number of years ago, because I was so busy, you know, building myself up financially. I'm not really prepared. I've got enough guns, but I don't have enough ammunition for them. So might have to become a reloader. Who knows? But
yeah, a lot of people, it's sort of a hobby with them.
yeah, it doesn't look that hard. You just sort of take the brass and you put the gunpowder and you try to make sure you don't blow yourself up. You know.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty
I think
simple.
I would well, I don't want to jump out of an airplane, but if I was going to, I think I would rather have a professional pack my chute. Whereas, you know, an experienced guy diver, they want to pack their own chute to make sure it works. But
Yeah.
and the same with ammo. I think I'll buy some in the box that a professional, that a machine and assembly line put together, rather than something somebody cooked up in a back room, or I, you know, tried to.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, you do it wrong, maybe your gun explodes. But
Yeah, right.
you know, I can't remember. It was 3 or 4 years ago. The Social Security Administration bought up so much ammo, it was the equivalent of 1 year's production of ammo. Well, what better way to keep ammunition out of the hands of people than if the government buys it and it causes the price of it to go up? So either they get you on non-availability or they get you on non-affordability, one of the two. I mean, what does the Social Security need with millions of rounds of ammunition? But in researching that, I found out that the Social Security Administration has their own police force and SWAT team, right?
I had no idea.
Why do they need it?
Yeah, that seems almost like a meme or something comical. I don't know why. I do know that tomorrow we've got jobs numbers coming out. It's kind of a big deal, and the market's closed. In fact, one of my guys did some research and told me that even Globex is not going to open tonight because
Really?
Good Friday is such a, lots of times we have U.S. holidays, President's Day, Columbus Day, whatever, where U.S. markets are closed, but the world markets are open. But Good Friday is a Christian thing, and so European markets, they're going to be closed for Good Friday. The Asian markets, I'm hearing, even though they may, not worship Jesus, I guess probably because of lack of other market participants. And of course, I know there are Christians in the Asian countries, many, like South Korea's lots of Christians. But anyway, my understanding is that tonight at 6 p.m. Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, Globex will not open. We know Wall Street's closed tomorrow, but I was told that Globex will not open tonight. And now, but they're still going to release the employment numbers. In fact, let me bring up my.
Well, this could be the great global reset. They'll do it over the weekend.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us what you mean by that. The great global reset. I mean, that's kind of a buzzword. I keep hearing about the reset. The reset. Can you elaborate on that at all?
Not really, because the people that are saying it's going to happen don't know what it means. So I sure don't.
Oh.
I keep hearing people talking about it, and when I speak to anybody that's got any, authority, I'll say, "Well, what is it about?" And it's just extremely vague, and I get 10 different answers.
Look at these markets. Let's see: United States, Good Friday; United Kingdom, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, France, Spain, Australia, Singapore, Brazil, Hong Kong, South Africa, India, Canada, New Zealand.
Yeah.
And so all those markets are closed.
All the South American and Central American countries as well.
We get to 8:30. 8:30 tomorrow morning, even though markets are closed. Get hourly earnings. That's not the high impact. Non-farm payrolls forecasting 647,000, the per 79,000. So if these numbers are extremely good or extremely bad, the only place money can crypto. Because crypto is 24/7. It has no respect for any kind of. It's been set in motion, and it's just motion. So whether this number is really good in the morning or really bad, anyone who wants to participate in a rally or a decline or, whatever effect it's going to have tomorrow. And if I'm wrong, somebody in the audience correct me, would be into some kind of crypto somewhere. And then we've got the unemployment rate, which is the other big dog on the porch in the morning. And last time out, it was 6.2. The forecast for tomorrow is 6%. And at, 10% unemployment rate. Or let's say it comes in at 3, either a huge hit or miss in either direction. All these traders out there with no place to plow their money into except, I think tomorrow could be a big crypto day.
Well, tell them they can always call me and buy gold.
Well, that's true. The Dr. Tom Gold Bar is always open for business.
That's right. I have a feeling that gold is going to gap. The gold market closes Friday night at 6 and opens Sunday night at 6.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's running 24/7.
Well, here's gold today. Over the last couple days, we had a transition. We were in a downtrend, and we hit one of our weekly zones at 1679. We got our bullish cross. That bullish cross took place on March 31st at 4 a.m. Eastern. A leg and a retracement, leg and a retracement, leg and a retracement, leg, and it looks like we're headed for another retracement. So basically, we went from 1680 to 1730.
Yeah. Well, I have, I'm pretty confident that if gold
7 right now.
Yeah.
Now that's futures price. Are you talking maybe spot price may be different?
Yeah. But it's been up as much as 30 points today. It was up 10 points yesterday.
Well, we would have. Okay, so you're thinking it'll rally another $10 today into the close.
I think so. And if
Okay.
it does,
Okay.
then it will almost certainly gap up.
Well, we got a
So-
weekly zone right here at 1739/40, so you very well could be
I know you were talking about buying some physical gold.
silver.
Ooh,
Oh no, wow. No, I don't think I was.
sometime back. But anyway, the point is just in general.
Mhm.
What I do for my clients is somebody calls me over the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I will lock them in at the Friday close.
Gotcha.
And then my wholesaler has given me his private home number and permission to call him on the weekend. I can call him and lay it off on him
Mm-hmm.
and lock it in.
Mhm.
So I'm not at any risk. The Friday will. So anyway,
Running your crypto fund.
no, I crypto company, and so it's the gold confiscation from people.
Yeah.
Bank and get a $20 one out to it. So if they had 1933 to 1972, an official gold price, I think if price, and then turn around and selling it at a much higher price. So finally Nixon closed the gold window, and people say that's when the gold standard ended. It actually ended in 1933 when Americans couldn't get gold for their own money. I don't really care about people in other countries getting our gold if we can't. But the point is, during that time, they said that gold was backed, but it was only backed 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to 1933, it was one-on-one. So I call that gold standard light. And what I advise these gentlemen to do is, just follow the U.S. government model. If 20% to call our U.S. currency gold backed, then 20% should be enough to back a cryptocurrency. But because of the prices of gold, roller coastering around, I advised them to advertise that it's 20% backed by gold,
Mm-hmm.
but actually maintain 25%. That way, every time gold drops $10, you don't have to run out and buy more. You
Mm-hmm.
can keep about the same amount of gold in that 20 to 25% range. If it drops below 20, then you buy more. So I think that's going to be a successful thing because
Well, I even asked about if you're still doing the fund because we're on the cusp of opening our own exchange. It's a non-custodial exchange, which means we never take possession of the customer's funds. They simply come to our platform, our storefront, our exchange to transact business, buy Bitcoin, to sell Ethereum, whatever the case may be, or to buy MP4, to be the one that goes from $1 to $20, or from a penny to $20, which is nothing in the world of crypto today. That's a life maker right there.
yeah,
You own 100,000 coins at a penny, and that coin goes to $20. Life maker. So anyway, I've been learning to do this detective work, the sleuthing. I shared the podcast with a select group of our members who have an interest in crypto, and we're all learning to use these different tools that are out there available. Go see what the big fat wallets are buying. Study the project. If it strikes a chord with you, I didn't know until I did a little digging under the hood that this was backed by BME Music Group.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in talking to you about your exchange. Maybe you can give me a ring after the show.
Yeah, I would like to.
When you have time. But I have to say, Dwayne, I'm a little disappointed in you.
What's new?
I never thought you'd engage in crypto shaming. But here you shame me for not knowing about NFTs. And
No, you're a busy guy, man. You've got people.
No,
Your
no.
people should be coming to you. Hey, boss, I got to tell you about the NFT.
you don't understand. it's all about feelings. It's not about reality. And
Nothing more than
you know,
feelings.
my feelings are the most important thing, you
Mm.
know. So that's the new normal, according to the liberals. So, and I call it, you know, they want to take our God, our gold, and our guns. And he said they get bitter, they cling to guns or religion or antipathy to people who aren't like them. And he, along with his vice president, who happens to still be the vice president now, the guy can't get a break. He was second banana for 8 years, and now he's second banana to Kamala Harris. But anyway, all of these people, these elitists, despise what they call flyover country. They think that only the big East Coast and West Coast cities are fit for human habitation. Nobody would want to live anyplace else. And the only value the rest of the country has is to fly over it. You know, nothing worth seeing here. But the exception is every 2 years, they allow the 90% of us who live in flyover country to vote for them. The rest of the time, they consider us nothing more than worthless deplorables, like Hillary called us. It's like the people that are running things now despise us, except for, you know, election times when they trot up their or nothing more than a wad of gum, call it what it is. And yet you see them dressed with the windows closed, wearing a mask, you know, or is outdoors and exercising, and that builds up your vitamin D from the sun, which also helps, and just breathing fresh air. And they got people so terrified running or riding bicycles, wearing masks, you know. So basically, the flea when no one is pursuing you, you'll be defeated by
Powers and forces.
yeah, deluded by them. Those who hate you will rule over you. The people who are running the country today hate America. They hate Americans. They hate American ideals. If you say American exceptionalism, which the whole world has recognized for centuries, they want to behead you. You know, there's nothing exceptional about other countries as good as us, they say. But no millions of missionaries like we have. No other country has ever been as generous as we have as far as helping other nations. We patrol the sea lanes. It's not our job. It's not the job of America to be the world's sea police, but nobody else will do it. And if we're not, people just country. But these people, if people encourage and fund the murder of babies in their mother's wombs, so other people can kill their babies. People whose expressed intent is to destroy the nuclear family. You know, God designed the family to be the building block. But if you go to the What We Matter website, there, What We Believe was written by the lesbian co-founders who described themselves as Marxist trainers. And they say very, very clearly that they took that part of the website down. But I was just talking to Pastor Greg Young, who has a really bad or really stupid take screenshots. They will take them down and claim they never said it. Legislators to endure the indignity of having teenage boys who claim they like the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, who Hillary Clinton said she greatly admired. She said this is a direct quote from her writing and from videos of her. Quote, colored people are like in parenthood, has nothing to do with parenthood, it has to do with people not becoming parents. Mills, almost exclusively in black neighborhoods. She believed in eugenics. She believed in destroying in America. She didn't think that black people should be allowed to live. She pushed the legislators to force sterilization on black. Evil people work day and night to destroy the church. And if they had their way, there would be no churches. Although when they start to run for politics, then they become religious. Okay. Obama had never been to church in his life until somebody told him you have to go to church if you want to get elected. So he joined a church that calls himself a good Catholic. So they either water it down or they destroy it. They tried to keep us from meeting while allowing massage parlors or basically bars to stay open. You know, people who are willing to destroy America financially, they're evil because they're willing to surrender our sovereignty. So if they can get rid of God, guns, and gold, they'll have clear sailing to enact an evil agenda. And in the words of the beloved, fundamentally change America. He got elected on that. You know, I don't want to fundamentally change America. I like America, but he hates it and to change it from the ground up. So it's, you know, God, gold, and guns. That, but they're going to citizens. China established gun control in 1935, and after that, 50 million killed. Small country of people. It's a pattern. This has been Australia. They confiscated guns, and then quite predictably, murders against unarmed people increased because the bad guys didn't turn their guns. The good citizens, the people that believed in following government, did so, and they were killed. Hitler said, you know, conquer a nation first, disarm its citizens. Mao Zedong says all political power comes from the barrel of the gun. The Communist Party must command all the guns. That way, no guns can ever be used to command the party. One of our presidents said that if we ever guns, then we will have tyrannical government. So the dollar's lost 96% of its purchasing power. Soon it'll be 97.
Yeah.
And eventually the money will be worthless. But you notice I said currency, not the US dollar. The US dollar, which was real money backed by gold, ended in 1933. The paper you have in your wallet is currency, but it's not money. Money has to be backed by something of value. Your currency truthfully says it's a Federal Reserve note. A note is an IOU, right? Even the U.S. Treasury website says it's backed by nothing.
Yeah.
That's their word.
Well,
not mine.
here's another thing. When you deposit money that you work for, paid your taxes on all that, you deposit money in a bank, you give ownership in a bank. Your transfer to, if you deposit $1,000, that is correct, right? Where DeFi,
And it's 100%.
it is 100. Everybody's talking in the crypto world today about DeFi. What is that? It's decentralized finance. So when you bank owns your money now. Bitcoin in your wallet, your money. You become the bank. Nobody else owns your money. Nobody else has their hands on your money. The titans at the top, because today you don't need a financial institution. If you need a business loan to develop a building, or you want to buy a home, or you want to buy a car, you can go to one of these DeFi exchanges and you can borrow the money online. you can you can do it a couple different ways. You can stake, let's say, 100 grand in Bitcoin, and then you can borrow against that at a very reasonable interest, because the loan into it, I'm in it for 60. I can sell it all day long for 90. That's a quick. I'm just pulling numbers out of the air, but you see an opportunity to flip a house over a couple months where you can profit 30 grand. And so it's a documentation. Forget all that. Just go borrow Bitcoin without staking, without putting up collateral. But I do know you can deposit you can put your Bitcoin. And the beautiful thing here is, let's say you put $100,000 worth of Bitcoin. Well, while you're refurbishing that house, the potential for the value of Bitcoin to continue to rise is such that, if pay off the loan, because
I imagine the interest rates would be pretty high, though, if it's not secured by Bitcoin, because Bitcoin could also drop. It's dropped in.
It had that one big drop from 20,000 to 3,000, and it's had other big sell-offs along the way. Current interest rates. So my point in all this is that bankers are to become relevant again. Current interest rates to borrow. Well, I don't have to put in crypto. Bitcoin lending rates. Crypto lending interest rates. Okay, so if this is a stable coin, this is the USD coin, which is supposed to always be worth $1. It's a stable coin. So the interest rate.
How stable is that when the dollar's going down 5% a year?
Let's drop down and get a little explanation. One of these coins. I guess you're buying one of these, borrowing one of these coins. So if you want to, or not borrow, but buy Avi, the DeFi space. Let's see. So 7%, 12%. ETH is less than 1%. Wrapped BTC, scratching the surface, learning about the DeFi space. Crypto lending rates are updated every hour. Decentralized finance lending platforms in DeFi. DeFi is a search, Kleenexes blow your nose. DeFi is decentralized finance.
Does it show the range of interest rates there?
Well, here, industry leaders like Avi and Compound has now issued over $3 billion worth of stablecoins, all on the back of trustless lending using smart contracts. An overview of DeFi lending. For those unquick glance at what makes it unique. Anyone can lend their assets across the protocols of their choosing at minimal cost. Smart contractors to issue, monitor, and service active loans, not assets. This means they can come and go as they approval from a third party. That third party would typically be a major lending protocols have been rigorously audited, meaning that lending contracts are backed by the most robust code in the world. Most major lending protocols today offer variable interest rates, which are automatically adjusted relative to the supply and demand of any given asset, selected automatically, meaning there is little to no top picks. Aave has solidified itself as the market leader following the launch of Aave version 2 platform. Why lend on Aave? Aave supports more. Can't mine all of this in today's show, but I can't encourage you enough this holiday weekend coming up. You have even Mark Cuban, a short position.
That would be the beginning of the breakup of the European Union, even though their charter says that if you default any loans. So what they did is they forced the lenders, who are mostly other Europeans, to take a 50% haircut and to pay off half the loan. And so then they could say they didn't default. But guess what happened after that? Well, sell paper, they were paced because they're so risky. Whereas Germany, which and by the way, the people in Germany worked. 50% of the people in Greece didn't work, and a big percentage of those who did work for the government, which is not working. Germany, at the same time, was only having to pay 3 or 4% to borrow money because
1,000 USD. The collateral you'd have to put up would be 2.82. Bitcoin would be, Bitcoin's at about 58 right now, but for the simplicity of math, we'll call it 50. So, and we're 1,000 in collateral, 500,000. So we're from 50 to 2 million. So here's my take. If you're a person who had a lot of Bitcoin, and you're planning to just hold your Bitcoin anyway, you can just let it. Did you take this 100,000?
get called away, but
I mean, it's
your
possible
stock's just
that,
sitting here. You can make money with it.
the appreciation of Bitcoin, you can lose all of your money and then some cash money with no credit check. Automatic free Bitcoin, you can go deposit it over here. They will cut you a check, no questions asked, for 100 grand. But you still own your Bitcoin. They're just holding on to make sure you pay them back. And so,
right.
And you put it in Bitcoin or some other altcoin, and good we, I don't know, but borrow 25,000, you need this much collateral. Okay. So to borrow 50,000, and a half Bitcoin. I think we $100, so that's a $1,500 contract move. It's 15 grand. Now you'll notice part of the left Dow 62. So let's just call it 30 to 60. It's 30 points, $20. You can average that every day on a $5. If it were easy, everybody would. Most of the vendors out there, their whole talent and their technology results every day, live and real. People always go, how long will it take me to learn? It takes as long as it takes. Different people learn at different speeds. It's like a blank slate. So become a member of the family. Valerie will be in touch. They just didn't have Prozac. But today, in this modern time in which we live, we don't just have regular stress. We've got cyber stress.
Greater return on investment than to